Ready? 10, 9, 3, 2, showtime.
People, welcome to another episode of Primal Sports Center. All my people out there, Fit FM 96.7, the World Wide Web, Primal 4K app, and also Facebook, YouTube. We are here one more Saturday again. As you can see, I'm the lonely bird today. My co-host seems like they have flown away or something because I don't hear from them from all week, but the show must go on, and short and spicy as it may be, we have to continue with the show, right? So I have a nice couple of topics here for you. We have some look at NBA to talk about. Track and field as usual, and we have a few little JPL games taking place and a few little overseas football as well, because we have to go international as well as local. But go and kick it off. I don't know. At the halfway mark, we have Peter, the controversial boss, and believe me, him have a little bandana over him head there, and I can tell you, it's going to look really controversial to that. But he have a nice bandana over him head, and it looks controversial for real. But people, let me kick it off with a little basketball, because as you can see, basketball is now winding down in their last few games, probably the last set of games before the playing tournament. And couple teams have already been decided as it relates to the play-ins. We have the Magics versus the Hawks, and we have the Bulls versus the Heat. But for me, I can choose who's going to the finals already, because we have to choose someone, don't it? So when I look at the standings right now as it relates to the east side, we have the Cavaliers out in front. Boston is right there, the Knicks in number 3, Pacers, the Bucks in 5th, the Pistons, Magics, Hawks, and the Bulls and the Heat for the playoff tournaments. Because I know that they're fighting for that coveted 8th place right there. And over the west side, we have the Thunder running away with it. The Rockets, the Lakers, Nuggets, Clippers, Warriors, Timberwolves, Grizzlies. We have the Kings and the Mavericks will be fighting it out there for that playing tournament as well. But it seems a little bit, for me with the NBA, I have to wonder to myself, because I've been watching a few of these games and I'm wondering, why are these guys getting so much money? The other day I saw Steph Curry played around 30 odd minutes and 3 points. 3 points in the entire game. And then returned 2 games later, 2 days' time, and 25 points. And I'm wondering, when it's down to these last few games, it's a case where these guys are just jostling for position, trying to find their proper matchups for 1 versus 8, 2nd versus 7th. And it's like they're trying to hide from each other. To me, big teams play big teams. Why are you hiding? Why are you shying? If you feel you have what it takes to be an NBA champion, you don't hide. You don't try to find a weaker team to play against because you're trying to run from the Lakers, you're running from the Nuggets, you're hiding from OKC. You have to face them at some point in time. So if you want to face them now and show them that they're the top dog, as what Peter would say, because Peter never shy from nobody. Peter show up. So I think these teams are just hiding from each other at this point in time, but no, they can't hide anymore. 1 game left, and that game is tomorrow, and then we have the play-in starts on the 15th. So the matchups are there, and we'll be seeing who will be coming out on top and who will not be hiding from each other, because I just don't get it. All season you can be playing well, and when you reach these final 10 games, you realize the stars starts coming out. Person shooting 140, 150, 160 points in a game. Ridiculous. Where were these points before? Where were these performances before? I don't get it. No, when you're trying to fight for places and you're running from this team or you're hiding from this team, you're losing a match, you're winning the next game, you're watching to see what happens with that team before you decide, hey, all right, then let me win this game. So no more hiding, no more chit chats. Come next week, we can have a full rundown of the matchups for the playoffs, because it's playoffs time, it's big man basketball now, and we can't hide. And while I'm even on the topic of basketball, A lot of persons out there might not know that we're Jamaica as a basketball team. And it's so fitting that we are even represented by a couple of NBA stars. Nick Richards from the Charlotte Hornets, who plays center, and Josh Minot, who plays small forwards for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So to see that we have the FIBA tournament coming up, and we have two NBA stars within the ranks, it goes to show that Jamaica is on the rise. And I just hope that other NBA stars out there who probably have some parental links to Jamaica can come on board and even pull our local players who are playing for the local clubs here in Jamaica, pull them aboard, because FIBA is a big tournament. It's a big basketball tournament. You're facing top countries with top NBA stars as well. And to see us trying to reach that tournament and being a part of that tournament, it all goes well for us. So glad to see that Nick Richards pledged to Jamaica, pledges game to the Jamaicans and saying that this is where he wants to play his basketball, as well as Josh Minot. It all goes well. And this is what I like to see. I like to see when players don't sit and wait until the federation calls them. They show their cards, they open their hands and say, hey, this is it. I want to come and represent. What must I do? A lot of these other players, they sit and waiting on the federations to come and say, hey, can you come and represent me? And then we be like chasing behind them, and they're like, not now, not now, no. If you want to represent the country, you come and represent us. As I always say, you have to love the country first before you want to play for the country. The player athletes and other persons who decide that they want to play for the country, they just want to play for the country. But if you really have a heart and a passion for the country, you love the country first, embrace the country, and then you come and play. That's how you see it. But other persons might see it otherwise. They want to play for the country, but you have to have the love for it. And these guys have shown that they have the love. They didn't wait on the Jamaica Basketball Association to come and call them. They went, they called, they reached out and said, I want to represent the country. What must I do? And we'll be seeing them daunting the colors of the Jamaican team. And maybe this can just open doors for other basketball players who are here playing the local leagues and wanting to see how best they can progress. So I have to say it's wonderful work by the Basketball Association and also Nick Richards and Josh Minot for really coming out and showing their love for the country, showing their love for the game of basketball and wanting to spread their wings and spread it right across Jamaica and representing the country. And I hope that other basketball persons don't feel daunted and feel like, hey, they can't make it. We have two who are representing the NBA. And who to tell? We can find our own Bronny James. Who to tell? So that's it for me with the basketball. Track and field. So people, I've been getting some beating there over this Grand Slam track. First, say I hate it. I don't like it. I'm fighting against it. Let me just set the record straight. I'm not fighting against Grand Slam track. It's good. What I don't like is the fact that it's being flaunted, the money is being flaunted as a highlight of the whole track and field event. And for me, I want the competitors to come out and perform. Yes, the money is there, but show the level of competition. Don't just show the money. Don't just advertise the money as being the money. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Yeah, we know track and field athletes get their pay through endorsement deals and sponsorship contracts. Events really and truly don't pay track and field athletes. It's hard to find an event that will pay you 100,000. Let's be honest. But don't flaunt the money. We want to see competition. We want to ensure that persons are getting the best. When they're coming to Grand Slam, they're getting the best. It was a wonderful experience in Kingston. I was also there. I would have loved to see a lot better matchups. For the 100 meters, I would have loved to see Kishane a part of it now as well. And I would love to have seen Sharika and Shelley, but they choose to opt out. Persons blaming schedules, saying the schedule was too hectic, 3 races. over 2 races over 3 days, which I find to be stupid because while Grand Slam track was taking place in Kingston, MVP was found in Myanmar. And it's so strange that you have Sharika Jackson running a 300 meter and then turn around to run a relay all in one day. But yet still, the complaint was that the schedule was too tight, 2 races over 3 days. They're running semifinals and finals at the Olympics in one day, within 2 hours apart. So we want to see competition. And as much as the money is being flaunted, you realize that the top athletes are still not coming out. They're still hiding, as what Peter would say. And Kane, they hide from each other. 100,000 on the grabs, and you're still hiding. So money is not the problem. I don't think money is the problem. They just don't want to compete. And if they don't want to compete against you, they're not going to compete. So the next leg would be in Miami. It's May 2nd to May 4th. I was looking at the schedules to see what was the athletes that will be listed. I haven't seen those athletes yet, and it's a couple days out, well, a couple weeks out. So we haven't seen the name of the athletes who will be performing at the next leg. But I do hope that we see better competitions. I know that the racers, because you have 4 racers for each event that are actually signed, and the challengers may vary. I think Oblique will still be there, Kung Fu Kenny and Curly will still be there. So I'm just hoping that the challengers who are coming out to challenge these athletes, the Gabby Thomases, the Sidney McLaughlin, Levon, even our own Akira Nugent. Yeah, I hope the challengers who are coming out, or the challengers who are signing for the event, I hope they actually just show up. We want to see a proper showdown, a proper rivalry. I want to see a race where I see Ilian and Shelley and Sharika and Shakari and Alfred in a 100 meter, vying for 100,000. That's what I want to see. I want to see competition. I want to see Kishin out there with Noah. Put the egos aside and just come out for the people. They're saying that the training at this time, running these competitive races, it's too early in the season. Come on, you're training for this, you're built for this. We're not telling you to go out there and run 100% and get yourself injured, but come out there and be competitive. Show that you're not afraid of your competitor. That's what I want to see. That's what sport is about. Before the money, there was competition. Before all the money, persons usually go out there for the passion and they go out there for the love and they're running hard. Now when the money gets involved, everybody's ducking and hiding and they don't want to face each other. Come on, man. Let's do a better job at this. And as I said, the Grand Slam track, the second leg is coming up, and we're hoping for bigger and better competitions. And I hope that we do get to see Sydney run a 400 meter against the top 400 meter runners. Because if you can run 51, 52, 51 over the hurdles, what does that tell me that you can do over a flat 400? Tell me, people. Also, we have the World Relays coming up between May 10th and 11th, so we have a lot of track and field action. We have some Diamond Leagues in between that. But the World Relays, I have to put an asterisk over that one because last time around, we saw the debacle. We saw what happened between the J3s, the clubs in Jamaica, not sending the top athletes to run at these relay meets because what they don't know is that the World Relays now, that is what is used to determine if your country takes part in the Olympics or the World Champs at the relays. So it's no longer about you fielding a team and your automatic place is there. No. World Relays is now what determines if your country takes part in any relay. And last year we saw what happened with the men's 4x4. It took a racers Grand Prix race to try and get them to qualify, and they still didn't qualify. I think it was the first time in Jamaica's history we had a Jamaica Olympic team with no 4x4 for men. All because the top athletes decide that they don't want to run, or their coaches or their clubs say they're not releasing the top athletes. You sign up now, and then 2 minutes later, retroactive sign. So this is very important to the Athletics Association. JJ's, my ball, my beg gonna do. MVP, racers, Sprint Tech, Elite, all the clubs. Release the athletes so that they can take part in the world release. We don't want a spillover of the Olympics into this World Champs. We want to see our top athletes. We want to see the best go out there and perform at the World Relays and qualify us for all the relays. That's what we want to see. Yeah? So it's coming up shortly, and not a lot of time. Track and field season is booming right now. It's persons are coming out here. I say, where Shelley is saying that she has unfinished business. So she's coming for somebody. I don't know who. We haven't heard much about Elaine. We see Brianna coming back. Kemba is coming up. Clayton Twins is right there as well. And it's becoming even more surprising to me that the female side of things is very competitive, and the male side is outside of Kishin and Oblique. Who else we have? Akeem Blake?
Yeah.
Three men.
Yeah.
So Johan Blake is the fourth one.
No.
Because right now I'm wondering if it's delusional or obsession. Because I can't believe Johan is still running, still trying to make a Jamaica team.
Almost broke 10 seconds.
Almost. Over how much years now? Come on, man, Johan. I think Johan, he can give me a first leg of a relay. I'll give him that. But
2 meters per second wind, and he still couldn't broke 10.
Yeah, but
2.9.
come to talk about it, as I hear you guys talking about who done from who not done. This goat fellow, how old is he? 17.
You're taking my topic.
I'm not going to steal a ton, but I don't think he's the real deal, you know. I can say that right now. I don't.
What I tell you is I don't think he's 17. That's a fact.
I don't think he's the real deal. I don't think he's going to even get much faster. I remember once you had one US athlete, Erling Knighton, crowned the next big thing. And he hasn't really gotten faster. He hasn't really gotten faster. I remember when you guys used to tell me about Noah, and I said, listen, Noah not going to break none of those records that Ball set. No, I don't have it in him. And up to now, and he's getting older. After this year, if he doesn't break a record this year, that's it for Noah, you know. Just kiss it goodbye. And I don't think Tiboga will do it either. So, what say you people? I want to hear your say. I want to hear what the people have to say, because I don't see none of these records going anywhere. I see they're staying. I know goat can break now.
He ran 2 win-aided 10 seconds the other day, you know.
1999, 999.
Yeah, they were both win-aided.
Yeah, 3 point and 2.
So he's on his way to being the sub-10 prince.
We needed sub-10 prince.
He's still sub-10.
No, those times don't count, Peter. Those times don't count. Can't run in a 3-second win behind your back. You run 999 with 3 seconds. Imagine Bolt with a 3-second win behind him back.
Johan Blake never did that.
Not with a 3-second win behind him back. He ran into a headwind. He's running with a win behind him back and run 99. No, sir. I think God need to try 400. I think that's where he should go. Leave the 1 and 2 alone. To me. But yeah, people. That's it for track and field, you know, the champs. Pen release is also coming up as well. We're looking forward to that as well. We know the young athletes are going to be there. I feel it for young Gary Card for Woolmans. He won't be there. Carifta is coming up as well. He won't be at Carifta as well. He's nursing an injury from champs. We see that Carifta team is being selected. He was not a part of it. And it's so strange that people know how I feel about Carifta athletics. I think that the athletics season for these young athletes is a little bit too much. You've been a part of champs the entire season of champs. You run that hard. Then after champs, you have pen relays. After pen relays, you have Carifta. After Carifta, depending on the year, you will have a World Juniors. To me, that's too much competition, high level competition within one season for these athletes to be, these young athletes at that, to be peaking, tapering off, peaking again, tapering off, peaking again. You're looking at roughly 4 tournaments because Pens is no joke. And Champs is, everybody knows that Champs is not a joke. But after Champs, then you have your Pens, then you have Carifta, then you have a World Juniors. To me, that's too much for them. Somebody has to give. So it's either some of these athletes don't go to Carifta, which is what I've been saying all along. Because we saw what happened with Young and Nkume when he went to Carifta and got injured. And I was like to myself, why would you send him to Carifta? So for me, I think some of these athletes are these young athletes, the top stars of champs. I don't believe that they should go to Carifta, even if, especially within a World Juniors year. I think they should opt from Carifta and focus on the World Juniors. Because we know that previously they might have gone to a Carifta before. So for me, you don't need to send your top athletes to Carifta, especially in a year when there's a World Juniors. You keep your top athletes healthy. You need to send them to Carifta. Young Gary Cardno got injured at Champs. He's not going to be making it to Pens, and he's not selected for the Carifta team. Hopefully, you'll be ready for World Juniors. Let's just hope. That's all I can say. Let's just hope. No, we had the topic of football because we had a lot of football action during the week. We'll start with Champions League now because we have PSG facing Aston Villa, and we had Barcelona versus Borussia Dortmund. We had Bayern Munich versus Inter Milan, and we had Arsenal versus Real Madrid. We saw PSG defeating Aston Villa 3-1. Aston Villa scoring first, and PSG just decided that, hey, let's turn up the thing. Went out. It was, to me, was a very good game, very balanced game. They both traded blows, and it all goes well to what will happen down by Aston Villa when they go back to Villa Park. I do believe that Aston Villa will show a little bit more character. But to me, this PSG team is no big team. They do have quality players on their team, but it's a more of a balanced team more than a star-studded team. And the same goes for Aston Villa. It's a balanced team, not star-studded, but nonetheless, it's two teams going at it with each other. For me, PSG has already won the French league, so I think their focus now is on the Champions League and trying to win that coveted title that they've been going after, because you know they have the Sheiks down there, and the Sheiks has really pumped and invested in this club. So I think their main focus right now, seeing that they've wrapped up the French league, their main focus right now is just to go there and try to capture the Champions League. They have Bayern in front of them. They have PSG. They have Barca, Bayern, Real, Arsenal, Inter, Dortmund. Whichever way the ties swing, they have these teams in front of them. But like I said, I know that Aston Villa will show up. Unai Emery is a serial when it comes to big league football. We know how much Europa League he has. So when it comes to European football, he's no joke. He's no joke of a coach. So we know that he may be able to turn things around. But let's just see, 3-1 is not a far-fetch. 2 goals in a year locked at 3-3. There's no away goal, so you have to play it out. So we know how that will go. Barcelona ties basically done and dusted. I don't see where Dortmund will be coming back from this. 4-0 win. Easy pickings for Barca. They're just growing from strength to strength right now. They're still fighting for the league title down there in Spain. It's not a gone conclusion yet, because the last time I checked, they were roughly, 5 points ahead? They're playing right now with Leganes, and they're just in the lead now. So they're a little, around 6 points ahead of Real Madrid. Well, 5 right now, ahead of Real Madrid. So the league title in Spain is not a far gone conclusion just yet. So you know Barcelona's hands are really tied within 2 leagues. So my best bet, they're trying to wrap up as much league as possible right now. So seeing that they've wrapped up this tie, I think we can say that this tie is basically over. I don't think Dortmund will be coming back from this one. Even though they're going down to Germany, I don't see where Dortmund has the quality in them to overturn a 4-0 lead. So we can say Barcelona is through. And next big match during the week was Bayern versus Inter. I think this one represents a Champions League final itself. 2 big teams going at it. We saw where Inter took the lead. Bayern rallied back and scored. Inter again going back at them. Very exciting game. Lovely football on the eye. 2 big teams, 2 quality teams, quality players all around the park, and they're playing entertaining and competitive football. This tie is nowhere near over. It was at Bayern's home ground. They'll be going down to Italy. We know how the crowd can be in Italy. We know it can see it. And I believe that this tie, I think Bayern is going to go through. I think Bayern has the quality to do it. I know Company is not the best coach right now. They're still wrapping up the Bundesliga title, but he's not experienced enough in the Champions League to be honest. But I do believe that he has what it takes to overturn this 2-1 league. It's just 1 goal in. You find a way 1-0 up. There's no away tie here. 2-2. The match remains the same. It's extra time to penalties. So I do think that Bayern can overturn this one. It's a beat the Schwab. So I would select Bayern to go through. For this one, I have Barcelona going through as well. As much as I said, PSG has this one wrapped up, or not yet fully. Aston Villa will be rallying back. I still have PSG going through. Possibly 4-3 on aggregate, or even 5-3 on aggregate. Barcelona should win 2-0 or 2-1 the next leg, so I'm looking at a 6-1 aggregate win. Bayern, I think, can overturn this 2-1 win, 2-1 loss, and I'm looking at let's say a 4-3 aggregate. I think they'll be winning 3-1 down there in Milan. And the hot match during the week was Arsenal versus Real Madrid. And I can tell you the Arsenal fans were buzzing all week. They call it Arsenal Wednesday and all these things. To me, this match is nowhere near over. 2 peach of a free kick from Declan Rice and 1 solid placement of a goal from Marino. Marino really dented the nail in Real Scoffin, but I know that they have the look of Frankenstein in them that can wake them up.
So it's 3-0 now?
3-0 now. First leg 3-0, Arsenal defeating Real Madrid. It was an entertainment match as well, back and forth. They both had chances to score. I think Arsenal was just lucky. 2 excellent free kicks. The first one, he curled it around the wall. A lot of persons are saying that, hey, first free kick was a better one, Declan Rice. But I believe the second one was the best one, because to me, it's easier to curl around the wall than to go up and over. To hit the ball over the wall and have it to dip in the pigeon, it's not an easy thing to do. And not many footballers can actually do that. So I think for me, the second free kick was the better of the 2. We saw where Real Madrid tried to come back in the match, but at 3-0 down, they basically rested the tie. They'll be going back to the Bernabeu, and I do believe that Real Madrid can turn this around. It's not impossible. We have seen them do it before, and it's going to take them having guts, which I know they have the guts. To me, it's which form of Vinny will show up. First leg, Vinny was basically absent throughout the game. It was being Mbappe trying, Jude trying, but there was no Vinny. And I keep telling the guys that Vinny is a crybaby. Crybaby. And I do believe that Vinny can't take Brazil to the World Cup, so can carry Real Madrid to a Champions League win. I don't believe so. So I believe that the tie will turn around. I think it will be an Mbappe hat-trick that will turn around this tie. And I see this one going to penalties. And I have Real Madrid going through.
Really?
I have Real Madrid going through. But people, as you can see, it's a halfway mark. And it's a controversial moment with a controversial.
Greetings, Froggy. Where on earth are Kate and Dale?
Your guess is as good as mine.
All right. We apologize for the absence of our two normal hosts, but two bad man take over. So, table tennis. A couple weeks ago, a Chinese star emerged named Shang Peng, who came and won the Korean table tennis tournament in Incheon, Korea. And he beat the hometown guy An Hae Young in the finals in front of his own crowd. But this week they're playing in China, in another city. I can't even pronounce the name of the city. But sensationally, Chang Peng has lost in the quarterfinals. This is second string Chinese playing, none of the real big Chinese playing. They send a bag of second stringers. Shang Peng being the most famous of them, and he just lost. So there are no Chinese players in the men's final, which will see Sora Matsushita playing against the same Korean An Hae Young, who's playing very well. So that is going to be the finals in the men's. But sensationally, in the women's finals, Zhu Yulin, who is a Chinese who is now playing for Macau. Now, Macau is a little island off the coast of China. And I don't know if that's where she's from, but she was world number one like 15 years ago, Zhu Yulin. So she's making a comeback as a hobby player, playing for Macau. And she's beaten the entire draw. She's in the finals now against a girl called Hashimoto from Japan. I don't know Hashimoto. I don't watch a lot of women's table tennis, to be honest with you. But what is remarkable is that a former champion, not playing, has come in to beat the field, which doesn't include the top Chinese. The Chinese sent their second string women and their second string men. Last week, I spoke about another event. I don't know if it's an athletic event, but one of the big school of sports, Titchfield High School, was in the finals of the school challenge quiz. So people don't know this, but I am on record as being Titchfield's youngest ever school challenge quiz captain. Yeah. I captained the team from fourth form. And I was surprised to see a third former in the Titchfield team. I know my record has gone. I don't know who's the youngest captain of school challenge quiz other than myself. I'm not talking about Titchfield. I'm talking all Jamaica. Okay. I don't know who's the youngest captain ever, but I was in the runnings many years ago. Anyway, this was the big one. JC versus Titchfield High School. And it was indeed a dramatic event. I have to tell you how it goes, Froggy. Titchfield was always a few points behind JC. JC was a set of aggressive youths, and they had the lead going into the speed round, the last question, the buzzer round. And Titchfield's captain, who has a very outgoing, strange personality, and the guy took over the contest in the final hurdle. Missed some questions, but for everyone he missed, he got 2 right. And it was a one-man show. JC sat on their lead, thinking that we have this thing with make the fool and Titchfield guys showed that true Fort George Street spirit.
Yes, a 40 spirit.
It's a lot of word. But anyway, Titchfield came through and won on the final 2 questions, turned the thing around and kept JC out. Well done, Titchfield. I'm very proud of you. I have to give congratulations to the coaches of Titchfield, especially Sparks. Sparks, you know why I'm giving you praises, you know. But the team was well prepared, and the captain, I think that captain is going to go very far. The captain for Titchfield.
He stays healthy.
I don't know if he stays healthy and don't run from the competition. That's becoming a Jamaican thing now. Which brings me to Grand Slam track. Grand Slam track was, I'm told, a television success. I haven't seen the television version of it. People complaining about the crowd. The crowd never looked that bad to me. It wasn't champs.
Just free.
It wasn't champs. Oh yes, partially free. Wasn't fully free. But my suggestion, if you want Grand Slam to be a thing, Michael, is that make it short and make it free. So give us half price for grandstand, because you must collect some money, Michael. But
free
you're
for
not collecting
bleachers.
money from thing there. And make the bleachers free. In fact, give out those tickets to the school children, the people who went to champs. Give them tickets, or give them tickets when they come to champs, and then they will think. Um, I saw another event take place that was supported by Jamaicans, which was strange. Why did Jamaicans leave the stadium alone to the Americans? And it looked like it's MVP people too, if you want to know the truth. But Shelly Ann wasn't there either, so nor was Elaine. So the Jamaicans left our home turf empty for the Americans to come and open the fridge, drink out with Gatorade, eat off with peanuts, and all these indignities. While we went to Florida to run in what looked like curry goat meat. And I call it a curry goat meat because I see people running some odd events. I see people not looking up to speed. I saw a men's 4x100 with a very bulky looking Kishian. Kishian looks to be 15 to 20 pounds above optimal weight. Is this the preparation that MVP is doing for its athletes? Why does everybody look so fat? I don't know if they're eating extra oxtail or what do you think it is? Why does everybody from MVP look so big and bulky? This idea that sprinters must get big and bulky and then slim down near the end of this, is this the new thing? Because Noah Lyles look the same all the time to me. And what's your name? The girl who run the 400. I saw her. Sydney. Sydney look the same all the time. Why do our girls get fat and then get unfat? Somebody need to explain to me. And then why didn't we defend the turf? I probably said this last week. Nobody comes into Kingston without me having something to say about it. You know what I mean? And these Michael Johnson and crew came in and MVP took the time to vanish and go to run what looks like a irrelevant. And plus, Dominican Republic beat us in the men's 4x100. Did you know that if we had the other two members of Primal here, we could probably beat Dominican Republic in a 4x100 relay?
No, probably.
No, I'm serious. I would run the ankle leg because Kishian got the button. I would say about on par with the dumb rep athlete going into that final fourth. And Kishian did not make up any headway on the guy. Let's be honest. That 200 and nearly 300 pound looking Kishian is not what I think a sprinter should look like. Aston Villa. I noticed that rumors are flying that trading window is opening up. I see what Aston Villa looks like, the new Aston Villa. I heard last year that Leon Bailey is going to get some Champion League time. You remember that talk? Has he gotten any Champion League time? Oh, no. He wasn't in this match, my brother. He wasn't in this match. I know he has a goal previous. Was it a penalty? Anyway, Aston Villa, the rumor is that Aston Villa is cleaning out the dead wood. And it looks like they're including Leon in that. Because the rumor is that they're, not the rumor, it's confirmed that they're talking to a German team. And well, it's all Germany now. And that one of the topics is whether Leon will be seeing some German football. He actually did his best in Germany, Other than that little burst in England just before he got the pay hike, he actually did well. Now, Mr. Djokovic, another rumor this week that I shall dispel is that Mr. Djokovic is going to retire if he wins the French. It certainly would be a good picture because he would have gotten the elusive 100 victory, and he would have gotten the elusive 100 victory, and he would have won the French, which would mean that he would now go up one more on the GOAT count in Grand Slams. So it would be a poignant or pivotal moment on which to retire. But Djokovic says he's still hungry for titles. So I think that Djokovic will continue. And we are going to be tired of seeing his face. So, penultimate tonight, because everybody wants to know who's going to win. UFC 314 is in Miami, Florida. My cousin was trying to get tickets. I hear that it's all sold out and that place will be full. I hear even the President of the United States the knight in shining armor, rescuing the U.S. economy and the stock market, will be there. Mr. Donald J. Trump, who recently, I hear everybody making a lot of money off of the stock market. But in the key event, Alexander Volkanovski will go up against Diego Lopez. Now, here's the problem now. Volkanovski was one of the greatest flyweight of all time, but he's lost his last 2 fights, right? And Diego Lopez, a Brazilian, and maybe 78 inches taller than Volkanovski, has won his last 6 fights. And I think that momentum is a hell of a thing. And I think that Volkanovski is going to have a problem overcoming the size differential. I believe that Volkanovski is skillful in the hitting and the thing, but I believe that Diego is going to hit him down, take him out at some point. So my pick is that Diego Lopez beats Alexander Volkanovski over 5 rounds, possibly with a stoppage in the late rounds, but it could go all the way. Now, also interesting is the co-main event, Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. Michael Chandler has lost a few spectacular fights recently, and Paddy Pimblett is again on a win streak. Paddy Pimblett probably win his last 5 fights in a row. He's a UK fighter, maybe Irish, with a personality a bit like Conor McGregor. And I think Paddy is going to be the favorite to beat Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler have the puncher's chance, but Paddy Pimblett can punch too. And more than likely, Paddy Pimblett will take Michael Chandler's back, choke him out sometime in the latter rounds as well. There's a third fight, which is also interesting. I'm going to make a prediction on that as well. Yair Rodriguez, the Mexican guy with the kicks, is going to go against Patricio Pitbull, who is also another guy on the downside. He's 38 years old, getting a little old. And I think that Yair Rodriguez, the most spectacular striker in UFC, is going to kick down Patricio. Patricio had surgery, 2 spine surgeries, and I don't think he'll have the physical strength that he used to have. So I have Yair Rodriguez knocking out Pitbull in the early rounds. Now, last thing, I was going to tell you something about cartel, but we will jump over that. What am I longing for? You know, that's a famous line in a song by Sicator Alca. What's his name? Jack Cure. Jack Cure, who sing famous songs like Behind Prison Walls, Release the Cure. What am I longing for? Sadly enough, Jack Cure is gonna get what he was longing for. He's gonna get another 6 years in a Dutch prison because for attempted murder. That incident in Netherlands where Jack Cure rushed somebody who owed him money. He rushed somebody who owed him money with a knife, and he probably wounded him, landed him in jail in Tinga. And apparently it's a bit habitual, you know. There's a YouTube video where Jack Cure pull a machete at Popcorn and some other one over some girl in Jamaica. I don't remember a thing. But some of his best work, some of his best songs was done from prison. So we can look forward to some good tunes from Jack Cure. You have 6 years to make next 2 album, my youth. Use the time productively. That's what we're longing for. New music. That's what's coming to you, what say you?
Why, people. Why you have to beat Jack Cure so
No, I'm not beating up Jack Cure. It's just, I like the man music, you know. He have some good tune.
Then I mention cartel.
Actually, he have a line now when I'm sung, when will we see each other again? It's 6 years.
Yeah. I know what touch on the Brazil chicken.
I didn't want to say anything about that because there is some chicken going around in the local Jamaica market, the jump on man and the jerk man, because there was a container passing by Hellshire. No, Hellshire? Somewhere out in that side. And the container with chicken. And I don't understand why we're selling chicken. Anyway, and the container turned over and washed ashore. And that chicken has found its way into the Hellshire community and possibly on your table. So you have to be careful. People, if you didn't pluck the chicken, be careful where you get the chicken from. Because it's not healthy to eat that chicken, I can tell you that. It's not healthy. The public health people have been warning against it. But let's get back to sports now.
Yeah.
What do you think about this MVP situation? Why did MVP decide not to be part of the Jamaican defense against the Americans?
Probably not getting any money out of it.
Yeah, man, the winners get money, man.
Winners? Who's the winner?
You're telling me Kishian couldn't defend a 100-meter?
Probably the club not getting anything. Do you think about it?
I don't know. It just looked bizarre to me. And I was shocked at the size of Kishian.
Yeah, it's early season. It's normally like that. They bulk up at the start of the season, and then they taper down. Less weight work, more running. The theory behind it is that you're running with this heavy weight, and you're trying to go fast. So the slower you get, you realize that you're getting faster and faster.
Then how come all the really fast guys like Tibogo and Lyles, and they just maintain their good condition and run? They're runners. Why do they have to look like WWF?
Maybe it's
what do we call it?
WWF.
Yeah, why do they have to look like bodybuilders and weightlifters?
Maybe it's a different training methods.
Yes, but don't you realize that MVP athletes have a higher incidence of injury than any other club? They seem to.
Yeah, because they weight at the start of the season, the bulk up too big. And then they try to run with that weight, you risk getting injured.
You're sure that's a theory behind it?
Yeah, that's the theory. You bulk up at the start of the season, you run heavier. So you're running, you tend to run with weights on. So the lighter you get, the faster you will be. So imagine you can run 10-1 bulked up.
No, I don't.
That's their theory,
it works like that.
That's what they're thinking.
I think you should carry your optimal body weight all the time and just run. And look at Tibogo. Tibogo is a natural runner.
But it depends on the person's body type as well. Tibogo don't look like someone that put on weight. Neither no lives. Look at Bolt. But Bolt put on muscles.
I think Bolt had put on too much muscle in his last year.
Last year, he put on a lot of muscle.
The development in his shoulders looked too big, and he didn't run the corners stable. It wasn't stable watching him go around the corners to me.
Who I'm surprised it maintained their weight was and body structure.
I think Johan Blake put on too much weight.
No, Johan Blake was always big. And they were talking
it wasn't always big.
After high school. After high school.
He was like a reindeer.
After high school, he put on too much body mass, too much muscle. And they spoke to him about it because they said he loved the gym.
Yeah.
I'm always at the gym and both used to talk to him and say, I can't be lifting so much weight.
Yeah.
So I think that hampered him because they don't understand the muscle. Your body can take so much and no more. It's a hard thing, it's a hard pill to swallow, but I think that is how we...
And tell me about this season thing. How come Kishian ran the indoor? He wanted to compete in the world indoor. Who's making up this calendar? Because you're making up stories, or I'm hearing you saying a narrative that you start the season slow and you work your way this. And why does MVP play around with so much different distances? We're running 300 meter, we're running all kind of thing. You know?
Your 300 meter help you with your 200 and 100 times.
Does it?
Mm.
So the fact that Sherika lost to Alfred.
Early season.
Oh, you say it's early season.
Early season.
So the early season is not important.
I saw the race, and to be honest with you, Sherika looked more comfortable than Alfred. When the race ended, Alfred was literally tired.
You want me to tell you what I saw? I saw the race too. I saw the race, and the race reminded me of Merlin Otti losing the 200 meter final to Gwen Torrance. You remember when Merlin Otti, and there's another, it was a Canadian or a French woman beat Merlin Otti 1 year in the 200. Sherika was leaning back, while her opponent was leaning forward trying to win the race. And let me tell you something. There's something you can't replicate, you know. In table tennis, it's deuce in the fifth. That moment when you are nervous, your opponent is nervous, and you're having a struggle. You have to pay to replicate that, you know. And I'm telling you that you need to practice winning, right? I believe that what you're going to do with that extra copper energy that she could have just finished the race.
Early season, Peter.
It don't matter what time of season. So it will hurt me to lean forward because it's early season. If I lean forward in the early season, hold on, it's early season, and I lean forward.
Race done.
Sherika could have won that race. You need to practice winning. You need to practice winning. People who come to Sharks Table Tennis Club to play know that I practice winning.
Remember, Frano is a man who tell him athletes to run to instructions, you know.
And the instruction include losing?
If it means that you have to lose, you're going to lose. Frano is a man who tell you go out there and run the first 60 meters as hard as possible and shut it down. And they will go out there and run 60 meters, shut it down and lose the race.
So this narrative you have is that Frano is some kind of deity, some kind of holy figure that makes a pronouncement and ye shall follow.
He shall follow. His athlete shall follow.
I see.
But that's what good for true. You run to instructions. Early season, you run to instructions.
You don't run to the tape, you run to the instructions.
Run to the instructions given to you by a coach. If a coach don't want you to run 100%, I'm going to say, give me 75% today. No matter go out there and hurt yourself. Just when you work on your start, see how quick you can come out of the blocks. Give me around 30 meter head down.
So you're saying MVP athletes are not trying to win?
And I said they're not trying to win.
Not necessarily trying to win.
Early season.
They're merely following the instructions of Coach Frano.
Perfect.
Long shall he live.
Long shall he live. And remember, all right, when I used to do track and field at KC, yes, people, I used to do a little running.
Hold on. Let me guess what event you used to do. Shot put?
No, 1 and 2.
Hold on, let me guess what other event is. You never did no 1 and 2.
I did 1 and 2. I remember my first track meet, I think it was by...
Hold on, I need to shout out something. Did you know that I have 2 brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
My brother, who became a famous international philosopher, Muji, did long jump for Titchfield High School and jumped at champs. Then hold on, my brother, Joel Muyong, who is DJ Gaddafi, threw discus for the school, even when he was one of the smaller people in the high school, you know.
So Titchfield is a Muyong?
Yeah. I am the least athletic of the Muyongs.
And the most decorated.
But the point is that technique is something in a discus and shot put, apparently. Because he was able to do these things, even though he was smaller than almost his counterparts.
Yeah, but back to the story. My first track meet was
Grace
Jackson track meet.
Yes.
By Stadium East.
Yes.
And my coach gave me specific instructions.
Not to win?
He said, go out there and run your first 30 hard as possible. Go out there. His instructions was go out there. When you come out the blocks, keep your head down for 30 meters and then you go and go. Just go as hard as possible for 30 meters. Then you go and fly after that.
Was this a competition?
Yeah.
And did he say
I'm going to follow the instructions.
The coach didn't want you to win?
I followed the instructions.
Yes.
And
what happened?
I wasn't that fast. But I did. I came third.
Okay.
But when we went back to school on Monday morning, I was the only one because we all taped the game, all the races. And the coach come back and said, "We need to make a little junior, showing how to run 100."
And that was you?
Yeah. Head down 30 meters. I will lead in the race after 30 meters.
But you know, track coaches don't get a clue, you know. Can I tell you something? If I have a youth come my school as a coach and they call him Froggy, you know what you're doing?
Jumping.
Long jump and high jump.
I couldn't. I wanted to try the long jump. I wanted to try the long jump, but not for 2 workout. And I wanted to do the distances because I think when we went by Western Relays, after we ran Western Relays, we went back to the hotel, and the morning after we were supposed to do some running. So we had to run the hills. And I think I was 5th or 6th on the hill. Monday morning when we went back to school, the coach said, "You, come run at 800 right now." I said, "What?" So that's how they look. They look at things and they say, if you can manage the hill like that, then go on 800.
I didn't get to say this on the last episode of thing. I wanted to talk to you about Kingston College. And whether, Kingston College, congratulations, they won champs this year. But is KC becoming more of a recruiting machine than picking people from the general school population? We know that KC has this thing down to a science now of picking from each of the prep schools and thing there. Culling, it's a culling exercise.
Everybody do that.
You're saying everybody does
Every school does that.
Okay, so
every school recruit from primary and prep.
Well, I can tell you something though. Titchfield High School was able to win school challenge with 0 calling. We didn't go to St. Mary and steal some kid from.
We don't steal anybody
from Morant Point or steal some kid from wherever they.
We don't steal anybody. Persons.
Not steal, man. Did I say steal? Take.
We didn't con nobody to come in. They like the school and they decide they leave. And decide they want to come to KC.
So you don't think KC would do well to focus on some academics?
We focus on academics as well. Yeah.
Have you ever won school challenge quiz?
We have the record.
You didn't win it this year.
11 times.
You didn't win it this year.
Not this year. Remember that they had to ban us at one point, you know.
Why?
We win too much time.
Is that right? Because I saw a school get banned. Did they ban Diego?
Once.
What they ban him for?
And I think some player.
Yes. And what about KC?
1 year. KC was some rules.
Yes.
We're there and
yeah.
we were contesting
my
the rules.
understanding is that
And they said no.
like champs, KC have a battery of lawyers to deal with the on-track events.
I shall not.
Is that true?
No comment. No comment. But every school has their society.
Yes.
KC is no less than a society.
What's some of the callbacks that took place the result of
Trumps?
a legal action taking place behind the scenes?
No.
No, because you did notice there were a lot of these DQs that were...
and a lot of them got called back. I think, like I said before, it was, to me, Champs was just management, poor management. I think discretion could be used. The fact that...
You won by some
60 odd points.
Not 100 points, 60 odd points?
60 odd points. And we had DQs as well.
Yeah, you had
a couple of DQs and a couple of callbacks. But it demoralizes the athletes themselves to be told that you false start, and then be told that you didn't false start.
Yeah.
And then be told that you false start, and then told that you win the race, and then when you win the race, you go back and then prepare yourself for the next.
But based on infrastructure, do you think any school will ever challenge KC in the boys' champs?
Yeah.
Oh.
That does.
No, I don't see.
There's still Calabar around. There's still JC around. What I like about champs this year than previous years is that you have smaller schools keeping hold of their athletes.
Well, I saw that. I saw that one country school in particular won the Class 1 Boys 800. That was Titchfield High School. Did I mention? Yes, sir.
Yes, Titchfield won a race.
It's good to see the lesser schools.
They're keeping hold, the Mushets,
Because that guy would have ended up in KC, you know, if it were...
If they leave, but they're keeping hold of them, and it all goes well for champs itself because the points are now being spread right across.
It's a good look.
And the athletes now...
And the women's look a bit more competitive because it's not a preordained thing that the school is going to win. You know, I like that for competition point of view.
Not like the boys' side.
Unlike the boys' side, I think KC is too dominant.
Remember, at one point, it was just straight home with, Every year, you just know home with going winning. It's just that, like I said, the field is much smaller. There's less recruiting happening. And even if you're recruiting, the athletes don't want to leave because they feel like if I go to a prominent school, I'm going to be burnt out. I prefer to stay here, do what I have to do here, and then I'll take it, go pro being here.
Yeah.
Less work on my body. I don't have to be forced to do much races. I have to force my training, and it's working out. So I guess that is the mindset a lot of these athletes now. Stay where you are.
Has Shikari run this year?
Not yet. It's only Shelly and Tia and Brianna. I think Kemba slowly run her as well.
Shelly has run this year?
Shelly don't run yet. Not Shelly. Sharika.
Sharika.
So Sharika, Brianna. I don't know if I'm Brianna.
I heard good news about Ilian that she's secretly training in
Miami,
Florida.
in Miami.
And I hear that it's an open secret. I hear she's been doing well in training. You hear that?
So I hear she's coming back.
Well, I hope those Achilles tendons last this season.
But before we go, I know we're winding down. I have to just say, speedy recovery to the Arnett Gardens goalkeeper. He had a stabbing.
They stabbed him. Is it because of that on-field incident? I hear he made a tackle on a player.
No, man,
was not related to that?
It was, they call it domestic affair.
Oh, because the video they showed him diving at a player's foot and then there was an altercation.
It's a domestic affair. So,
okay.
So it's him and him.
Yeah.
You know the drama guy already.
Yeah, we know.
So speedy recovery to him.
Yes.
I hear that he's recovering well. I just don't know what it is going to be like with Arnett because they lost their first string goalkeeper.
Yes.
And he's the second string. So now they're down to their third.
Dear.
So big up to them. As it relates to the JPL, Mount Pleasant is still ahead. A couple more games left.
Where's Cavalier?
Cavaliers is at 5th.
What?
Remember, like at this point in the season, top 2 go through and then you have playoffs afterwards.
I know, but if Cavalier is
they're in the playoff spot.
Yeah, okay.
So they are quite fine.
Okay, it's Jamaica best team.
Well,
in my opinion.
Well, let's just leave it at that.
Yes.
And we all know where Mr. Man is.
Mr. Butler?
Yes. So they'll be going.
Is Phoenix going to play the playoff or not?
They're going down.
Okay.
Tier 2. So sorry for them. I wanted him to stay up because he's a good character for the league, but he's not going to be there. Jamaica, interesting few months coming up ahead. We have the Unity Cup in England. May 27th, we'll be playing against Nigeria, Ghana, and Trinidad.
I never heard about that competition. I know we have Gold Cup and
We have a Unity Cup right before that, just next
Really?
month.
Yeah.
Yeah, this a small tournament. The first game will be first semi-final will be against Trinidad. On the 27th, we're facing Trinidad. The winner of that,
in England.
in England.
Yes.
The winner of that will be playing either Ghana or Nigeria.
So those 4 teams are playing.
Only 4 teams.
Oh, that's a strange thing.
It's a small tournament. It's not the first time we've been there. It's interesting.
But why would they put the 2 African teams to play each other and the 2 Caribbean teams to play each other? That don't make sense to me.
It makes sense to me.
No, sir. I'd rather see Jamaica play Ghana.
So why you want 2 African teams to play each other?
But that's what you have there.
Yeah, but that's what's going to happen. So why you want the African teams to play the Caribbean teams? Then they have 2 African teams. We can have 2 African teams in the final. I want to see Jamaica in the final.
Okay.
Facing against either Nigeria or Ghana. That's what I want to see. We have a World Cup qualifier June 7th against British Virgin Islands.
Yes.
And right after that, we have the Gold Cup. And we see the Gold Cup group that we have people rushing right now, but we have a Gold Cup group. Group 1 is Mexico, Costa Rica, Suriname, Damrep. Group 2 is Canada, Honduras, El Salvador, and Curacao. Group 3, Panama, Jamaica, Guatemala, and Guadeloupe. Group 4, US, Haiti, Trinidad, and Saudi Arabia. For me, I think Jamaica group is a banana peel.
I don't agree.
Trust me.
Jamaica just happens to be weak. So you're considering us a strong team. That's why you're looking at it.
No, it's a banana peel for us. We might slip. We might not even get through the group.
We are not strong enough to expect to walk through that group.
We're not going to walk through the group.
That's my point.
I expect Panama to win the group.
That is exactly
my
point.
expect.
Yeah. And then Guatemala is in that group too, so we're not likely to make it.
If we don't play no football and we're not been scoring goals. USA group to me is a tough one based on Saudi Arabia being there. Haiti is at no pushover. I think Canada have the best group. Honduras, El Salvador, and Curacao. They should walk through that group
easily.
And I expect Mexico and Costa Rica too.
The problem is you're looking at Jamaica as a big seed, and Jamaica is not a big seed.
I'm looking at Jamaica as Jamaica.
No,
I don't see where they're. Listen, the coach has a lot of things to do.
Yes.
After the Unity Cup, we'll see where we stand because it's in England. I want to see if our British players will be playing, and I don't want nobody complain about the field bad. Leon is already there. Whether they will play or not, I am not sure. But this is where.
And still, no Mason Greenwood, eh?
No Mason Greenwood. This is where the coach is right now for me. Lose this.
And you're ready to join the bandwagon.
No, me dep on the bandwagon for them get hired. After Unity Cup, I hit that for you. If me no reach Unity Cup final, you know. If me no carry the cup here, I hit that, you know.
No, sir. With Nigeria? Really?
If me no carry this cup.
Really?
Is it that? Yeah, in England, you both say you have a bunch of England players. Right?
Nigeria too.
If you not carry home, that's why them big baller not going to play. But
Okay,
if them don't carry home this one, that's it. But people, out of time, a little bit of overtime. But thanks again for tuning in. Fit FM 96.7. My people out there in Trelawney, Facebook, YouTube, World Wide Web, and Primal 4K app. This was another episode of Primal Sports Decks with me, Froggy, and my lovely co-host,
Peter Muyon, Controversy Boss. Many thanks to my stylist and also a friend of mine who's a famous artist who used to wear this particular headband. And I don't see him wearing it anymore. And so I continue tradition. That's it for Primal Sports.
Peace.